For a long time, I didn't think I was gonna be able to make it in New York. You know what I'm saying? Even though I've always kind of wanted to live here. I think what New York kind of forces you to do in a lot of ways is sink or swim. You know what I mean? And the water's really deep here. And there's a lot of competition and a lot of amazing artists like everywhere. You know, like I can tell you every single side job I've had, every person from the person working the front desk to the person at the cafe to the waiter to the bartender, they all got 4 or 5 different hustles and they're all excellent at their hustles. And that's kind of New York for you, you know? So when I was in high school, I was kind of a difficult kid, you know what I mean? And so I would actually end up being suspended about once a year from about grade school up until high school. So I'm dealing with these kind of emotional issues and I don't really have an outlet. And there was an announcement for a show. So I was like, hey, you know, fuck it, let me do it. I'm not really doing anything. So I go on an audition. And then, because I didn't know what a cast list was, I didn't know what the process was, I didn't go back after I auditioned. And I meet the drama teacher, which is this woman whose name was Sally Livingston, and she says, hey, you're Julian. I go, yeah. She goes, yeah, you were supposed to be in this play for the last 3 months. We've been looking for you. So I started crying, because I thought, oh no, I'm in trouble again. And she says, don't worry, we got you. And then she put me next to this guy named Kevin Tomlinson, who ended up becoming my best friend, and we're still very close to this day. And it was that experience that kind of sparked my desire to be an actor. You know, for me, I started in stage because that's where I started. You know, it's where God literally put me first. I think with stage, there's no better or worse, it's just different. They're different arts and different crafts. Yeah, I think the thing that stage kind of teaches you is it teaches you, first and foremost, how to be present and how to be a little bit more collaborative in the crafting of your art. You know what I mean? Because like you have your partner who's in front of you, you have your director, you have your designers, and you have your audience. Where with film, you lose one of those things. You lose your audience. You know what I mean? And so that fifth person within your craft, I think, gives you something very, very exciting, very, very interesting that film doesn't. It has to be Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Like, up until that point, it always kind of felt like, I don't know, should I become a lawyer? About to turn 30, like what am I doing with my life? It had to have been Wu-Tang, then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, maybe I actually have a career in this. It was unexpected in the sense like I got an audition to audition for it and an audition for it. I didn't know that they were gonna make a Wu-Tang show until I got that audition. And even though I know Raekwon and Ghostface music, you know what I mean? But I didn't really know the Wu quite that well. And so when I saw my character, I was like, I don't know, Divine. And then I looked up and I Googled Divine and he was nowhere to be found. So I was like, oh shit, this, you know, he gonna die in like episode 3. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I had been auditioning for these things before and I've always kind of like felt like, you know, I'm this nerdy suburban kid. I can't imagine that this is gonna happen. So I just kind of auditioned. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there with doing a chemistry read with Ashton Sanders. And then all of a sudden things started becoming kind of real. Yeah, he's still very much alive, and he's still very much, like him and RZA are still very much business partners. And it's fascinating to meet someone who has dedicated a big chunk of his life to foster someone else's dream. Because he looked at his brother and he was like, you have a lot of talent and I can help you achieve everything that you want. So that in particular is very, very interesting. And Divine's he's an intense guy, but he's a very kind guy. You know what I mean? He's hyper intelligent. And also like what's wonderful about him is like he really took a step back. He allowed me to kind of do what I did, you know, what I did. We talked a couple times on the phone. I met his son, and ever since then, he really let me kind of do my thing, you know. Yeah, you know, I hope to be privileged enough to be specific. My goal is to be specific. However, you know, I'm a working actor, and so I'm going to strive also to find value in whatever I'm kind of given, and to find opportunities, and if I'm given an opportunity to perform, to put my best foot forward always. I think also that's also a shift for me too, is to realize like this is finite and this is not guaranteed, and to have a career in this business is a blessing. And so from moving forward, anything that I get, I'm going to treat it as such. At least I'm going to strive to. You know, I'm going to have bad days probably, but I'm going to strive to treat every one of my roles in the future as a blessing.